All right, Wunda fam, fair warning, this one's gonna burn. So grab your dumbbells and your resistance band and let's get to work. We're gonna step into a wide turned out position on our mat. Take the dumbbells into a W. Before we get the arms moving, we're gonna float with an inhale breath. Really think about lifting from the core to elevate onto the balls of your feet, all 10 toes melting into the floor. Find some softness behind the knees as the navel draws up and in. It's gonna be shaky already. Here we go on the inhale breath. Lengthening the arms up and out as we plug the arms down into the ribs. On the exhale breath, we're going to float it back down into the W. Inhale as we lengthen up and out. Exhale as we lower back down. If it doesn't feel great for you up on the balls of feet, you can always keep your feet flat and do the same range of movement. Exhaling as we lower down with control. Inhale as the arms lift. Think about the ribs funneling down into the pelvis. That's going to help you activate through the core and keep the arms plugged in down the back line of the body. So again, you're choosing whether your heels are lifted or whether they're melting into the floor. We have softness on the back side of the knees. We're keeping equal weight in all 10 toes, and we have the navel drawing up and in the whole time. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as we decelerate. We don't want to just let those arms drop. We want to make sure that they are working with control in both directions the whole time. We have our hips directly below the shoulders, crown of head reaching up through the ceiling. Exhale down, inhale to elevate. We're going to go into a lunge in 3. Melting the shoulder blades down every time the arms elevate. This is going to be our last arm extension. Inhaling up, let's hold it out just like a starfish for 4, for 3, for 2, and elbows melt down, heels melt to the floor. All right, we're gonna turn to the top of our mat and have our feet 4 inches apart parallel. We're gonna keep the dumbbells on our hips to get started and take a nice step back with your right foot. From here, we're gonna keep the right leg long today as we bend the left knee into one lunge and bow forward. So this is going to be our full range of movement here. What we're going to do is hinge and come upright on an inhale. Torso comes upright, the legs did not change. Exhale as we think about lengthening the crown of head forward and rolling the pelvis over the top of that stable thigh bone. Inhale as we bring it up. Exhale as we bring down. Check in that your outline is level. Check in that you have equal weight across the sole of that left foot. So it's really easy to kind of want to load into the ball of the foot, especially as we hinge forward. Keep equal weight across the sole of the left foot as we work. We're going to go for 2 more here. Mobilizing flexibility through the hip as we strengthen and tone. And let's hold the next one forward. Hold. Let's get those arms active and moving with us. So we have our right arm coming up as the left heel is down. And then we're going to hold this hinge forward and switch the arms as the left heel picks up off of the floor. That's an inhale there. And then we're going to exhale. Left heel goes down, right arm goes up, melting through that left heel. Torso stays quiet. Inhale as you pick up the heel. And exhale as we lower it down. I like to think about that left thigh bone sinking more deeply into the dome of the left hip as we drop the heel up. Exhale, bring it down. Just a few more here like this. Reaching that left hip far away from that left knee so you can stretch that thigh bone while we're working. Getting the ribs right in line with the pelvis, making sure that low back stays long. And hold this next one here. We're going to bring our arms into a tricep reach, just a long tricep reach, holding the arms, isometric challenge, and then we're going to go into a fascial floss. So that means that back leg is not going to move very far at all. I'm going to draw attention to it on Michael's position here. So what happens is we're keeping the pelvis quiet, we're keeping the torso quiet, and we're keeping the heel quiet. But he's getting a good knee bend in there, and that's stretching the fascia, really helping to lubricate the body, lubricate the fibers in the body so that you are feeling a lot more flexible and a lot more range of movement as you work, rather than just statically stretching or trying to pull on a muscle. Good. For the last few, I'm going to ask him to pick that left heel up off the floor, really elevating that challenge. Keep that big toe, second toe connected. Keep that heel quiet. Last 3. I said 2, but I lied. Last 2. Good. And last one, go ahead and come all the way up. Really nice job. We're going to swap out those dumbbells for our red band. and we're gonna go into what is called a front step press. So we're mimicking what we do on a Wunda Chair with this band. So take the band into two hands, and we're gonna have our feet 4 inches apart parallel, and the left foot goes onto the band. Glue your eyes to something ahead of you to assist your balance. The arms are in a bicep curl position, and float your left knee up so that it's approximately level with your hip and your belt line is level. Think about lifting that right inner thigh up alongside the spine so you have a really strong and active core. We're going to inhale as we send that left leg long. Crown of head reaches away from the heel. Arms don't change. Pelvis doesn't change. Exhale as you absorb that thigh deep into the pelvis and stabilize with the right waistline. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we absorb it back to start. So now we're going to think about that left waistline, and that's really stabilizing with the right hip as we send the leg down. So it's working in a diagonal orientation, stabilizing the pelvis, and deeply activating the core. Inhale on the way down now. Exhale as you bring it back up. We're going to go for 2 more of these. And then we're going to layer on because we can. Exhale as we bring it up. Last time, full range of movement. Lengthen the leg down. And then we're going to hold it at about that 90-degree bend. Let's bend that standing leg just a little bit. Keep the torso upright. And a small little pulse into that band. So we're thinking about that femur head, your thigh bone, really swimming through the dome of the pelvis. It's a very small range of movement. Keeping the belt line as level as possible, finding activation via the inner thighs as if they were magnets. Last 3. This is 2. And last one, go ahead and take your foot out of that red band and we're going to come onto our knees. So we're going to have our right knee forward and our left knee back like so, a single leg kneeling position. And we're going to go into side flexion with the band. The band comes up and overhead, pulling the arms back into the middle back, and then we're going to inhale as we arc towards the right. It doesn't have to be a great big bend. You just want to feel those left ribs opening. Exhale to start. Inhale as you arc. Exhale back to start. So working at your own pace, keeping the collarbones wide, keeping tension on the band, activating via the middle back. And find heavy weight in your right heel as well as the big toe, second toe, drawing that diagonal line under your foot to help activate the inner line of the leg as well as the outer line of the hip and into the glutes. Melting that right hip to the floor as best you can in this position. Inhale as we arc and fan. Exhale as we bring it back. This is going to be our last one. We're going to change it up. Return to center. Arms come in front of the chest. We're going to go into our rotation. Inhale as we rotate to the right. Exhale as we unwind. So as we rotate, we want to stay as stacked and organized as possible. So sometimes it's tempting where we want to really rotate further and then we kind of lean into it. See if you can stay better organized, keeping the shoulders over the pelvis, and really think about the ribs rotating, almost like it was a paper towel dispenser, right? Sitting on the counter. Inhale as we rotate, finding resistance in that band, accessing the middle back, shoulders, and the arms as we work on the waistline, working on strength through the hips and the thighs as well. Last 2, we're going to combine those 2 movements. Here we go. Hold this next one in your rotation. We're going to open towards the side. And then we're going to bring it back to that rotation and center it back out. So again, we're going to rotate to the right. Then we're going to fan open the ribs. Bring it back to that rotation and unwind to start. So work at your own pace, but we're doing a combination of that side flexion with our rotation. So really increasing mobility through the spine, through the ribs, and find that beautiful inhale breath as you do that arc and lift. And we can use that exhale breath to bring us back to center. This will be the last one, guys. Inhale as we rotate and arc. And exhale as we bring it back to start. All right, both knees are going to come down. And we're going to go into a little booty tap with a diagonal reach. So we're gonna lower our hips down onto our heels, the hands come forward. And then as we inhale, again, we're gonna find rotation, but this time with an upright reach of the right arm. Exhale as we lower down through center. Inhale, rotate the other direction. So really find that breath to lift you. Inhale as we lift and rotate. Exhale as we lower down. Thinking about the front side of the hips opening. Using that breath for power. It's easy here to get the quads to kind of want to take over the front side of your thighs. Or like, oh, I got this. I'm gonna lift and lower us, no problem. But we really want to find the back side of the legs as well. We want to find the core and the breath. So use that inhale breath to find some ease and lightness, the exhale to decelerate, and think about lifting from under your seat rather than from the top of your legs. As we lower down, our sitting bones broaden, and the sitting bones narrow, helping to elevate us back to that high kneeling position. Let's go for one more on either side. Inhale to bring it up, exhale through center. Last time. And bring it back down. All right, let's take the left foot forward and keep the right knee down. We're gonna go into that side flexion and rotation combo. So rotate the hands up and overhead, level out the pelvis as best you can. And then we're gonna inhale as we arc. Exhale, bring it back through center. So we're gonna do the little steps to lead up to the combination move first. Inhale as we arc, exhale as we lower. Finding that breath and length, keeping your body in a nice parallel plane. So try not to rotate the ribs and shoulders. Try to keep everything in your best parallel. Think about that left hip sinking down rather than creeping up. Might not be exactly level because we have one leg forward, but get it as level as you can. Let's go for two more here, and then we're gonna go into that rotation. Melting the shoulder blades down, keeping the collarbones nice and wide. Hold here, float the arms down just below your underarms, level out that belt line, recommit to that connection. Inhale as we rotate, exhale as we unwind. Again, it can be really tempting to kind of get ourselves disorganized just to go for a huge rotation. Think more about staying organized, keeping your shoulders over your pelvis, keeping your belt line as level as possible. And using that breath to open up the spine and activate the core while we're using that band to tone the arms, shoulders, and middle back. Let's go for two more, and then we're going to change it up, going into the combo. Hold here. Now we're going to float the right arm up on an inhale. Bring the arm back down on the exhale as we unwind. We're inhaling as we rotate, and as we fan, that's an inhale breath. The arm comes back down as we unwind on the exhale. So it's a long inhale and a long exhale by design. Here we go, inhale. Exhale. So we want to challenge our bodies with longer breath, getting deeper into our lung lobes, clearing things out that don't really serve us, and finding more mobility through the ribs. Inhale to rotate and fan. Exhale to return to parallel and forward. This is going to be our last one. And unwind. Beautiful job. Go ahead and set that red band down. All right, now we're going to go into our rolling plank. So get all the way to one edge of your mat with your feet about 4 inches apart parallel. From here, what we're going to do, guys, is really challenge through the shoulders and the waistline. We're going to transfer the weight into the right arm and bring the left arm up. But now we're going to continue rolling. So you're going to take the left foot over and then the left hand down into that bridge. Then we're going to roll onto the left arm, hand comes up, and then we return to our plank position at the other side. Now, if that is just not something that you're after today, hold your plank while we're rolling side to side. If you're up for the roll, here we go. Other direction, right hand comes up. We're gonna uncross the feet, right hand comes down. Keep your booty up, up, up. We're gonna float the left arm up, and then we're gonna take the left foot across and come back into our plank. Let's do one more of those because we're loving it so much. Is it your new favorite? I knew it, he loves it. Here we go. Left arm comes up and over, heels tip to the side. Uncross the feet as you take your hands to the mat. Keep the booty up as we shift onto the left hand and shoulder. Hands come onto the mat. Hold your best plank. You might want to throw a smile at yourself because you are really strong. Let's go for 3, 2, and allow those knees to come on down. All right, guys, we're gonna go to a little combo of a teaser and a roller. We're gonna come all the way down onto our backs with our legs long on the mat, arms float straight up to the sky. And we're gonna inhale as we peel the backside of the head up and off the mat and raise into a roll up. At the same time, we're gonna float the legs up into a teaser position. You can hold the backside of the legs to help you stay organized. Then we're gonna elevate the legs, floating them down as we roll back down all the way to the mat. Inhale, pick the backside of the head up. Exhale as we curl. As we roll up, we're gonna float the legs up into a teaser position, holding nice and strong at the top. I like the hands behind the thighs to help you find that activation of the abdominals holding the legs. Inhale as we unwind back into that roll down. Inhale as we roll up. Exhale as we curl. Float the legs up into the teaser. Michael's going to show us one leg at a time as well. So as we're lowering all the way down, this time he's going to just bring his right leg up, and that shows you a modifier. So as you inhale, just the right leg comes up, and that's a modifier to make it a little less aggressive, rather than having both legs up every time. Inhale as we lower back down. This time he's going to bring the left leg up, so you're just going to alternate at your own pace, one leg at a time. You can also always choose to just do this roll down with your feet, maybe hooked under the edge of a sofa, and that can help you to build strength and stamina as you work through this series. Inhale as you come up, let's hold the next one up. If you have one leg, you can alternate legs as we're holding for 4, for 3. We're going to grab a dumbbell in 2 and bring the feet down. All right, we're going to lay all the way back down onto the mat, and just one dumbbell is going to go into our right hand. So grab one dumbbell, and we're going to keep the right leg long on the floor and float the left leg up towards the sky. Right arm is also up towards the sky. From here, guys, we're going to inhale as we rotate, picking the right shoulder blade up and off the floor, and exhale to unwind. So it's not about touching your foot or touching your ankle, that's just kind of the general direction we're going. Inhale as you reach up and across. Exhale as we lower down with control. Finding lots of length in the body. Let's layer on. So now that we have that all set, we're going to hold this next one up. And now we're going to bring the right leg up, lower the right leg down, and unwind. So we're combining now. Here we go. Bring it up with the dumbbell. Right leg floats up, right leg lowers down, and the shoulder blade touches. Let's go for one more like that. Inhale as we rotate, swing that right leg back up with control, deliver it back down to the mat, unwind, and go ahead and bring your leg and the arm down. Let's flip over into a 4-point kneeling position. We're going to go into a bird dog row with that dumbbell. We have our hands on the mat and our knees are 4 inches apart parallel. Before anything else happens, we're going to look straight down at the mat, glide the top side of the left toes all the way long behind us till that leg fully extends. We're going to float the leg up via our land line and bring it up just about the height of your left hip. All right, from here again, we are going to exhale as we bend the right elbow and row the arm towards our ribs. Inhale as that dumbbell taps down onto the mat. That's it. Exhale as you draw it up and back. Inhale as we tap. Can you reach the left toes further away from the crown of your head? Exhaling as you reach. Inhaling as we tap it down. So we want to find the stable balance through the pelvis. So I'm going to shift Michael's hips just so they're both shining straight down to the mat. And then we're going to bring the right leg in towards the seam of his pants a little bit. And swivel that left inner thigh up. Do you feel that connection through that inner thigh? Beautiful. Thinking about the ribs hovering away from the floor. Last 2. Beautiful job. And this is our last one. All right, guys, go ahead and set that dumbbell aside for just a moment. We're going to go into a Wunda twist, but just a little baby range of movement. You're on the balls of your feet with your pelvis shining to the side and your shoulders forward. From here, we're going to inhale, swivel the left hip up and back. Exhale, bring it back to start. So it's a small range of movement, really targeting through the deep abdominals and the low belly. Inhale as we swivel that left hip as if had a fish hook on it, drawing it up and back, keeping as balanced weight as possible through the shoulders and the hands. Last 4. This is 3. We're going to go into a hinge in 2. And last one. Bring the knees all the way down. All right, we're going to grab one dumbbell and place it parallel between our hands. These are 4 inches apart, parallel. And we want to maintain a lot of length in the low back as we do this exercise. So pay attention to that. We're going to inhale. The arms are going to float up as we lengthen back, hinging at the knees. Crown of the head stays in line with the spine. And then we exhale, bring it back up. So don't worry about how far you hinge. Worry about staying organized and staying long. Inhale as we hinge back, and exhale as we pick it back up. I like to think about energy drawing up the front side of my body and pouring down the spine on the back side of the body. So it keeps everything nice and organized rather than compressing into the low back. Inhale as we hinge back. Exhale, bringing it all the way upright as the dumbbell lowers. Inhale, lengthening back. Exhale as we bring it up. Keep working on your end. I'm going to check in with Michael and make sure that his low back is really long and protected as we work. So we exhale to rise. And we want to focus not on traveling so far with our hinge, but more about length in the low back. That's going to help protect the spine and activate the abdominals really deeply. Test it out in your own body. See what you find. If you go back too far, you're going to start to feel some tightness and maybe even compression in the low back. And what we want to see is this beautiful length that Michael's maintaining with a heavy tailbone, crown of head reaching long. Go ahead and exhale and come up. Let's do one more of those. These look beautiful. Inhale as we lengthen back. Exhale as we bring it back to start. Beautiful. All right, let's go into that row on the other side. So we have our hands on the mat. We're in a 4-point kneeling position. And we're going to take the top of our toes of the right leg and reach it long, long, long back behind us. And then we're going to float that leg up to about hip height. Swivel the inner thigh to the sky. And on your next inhale, we're going to roll back. And then we're going to exhale, tap it down. Inhale as we lengthen crown of head away from the toes. And exhale, decelerate that dumbbell back to the knee. So we're getting a lot of effort through both arms. We're working really hard through that right shoulder as we stabilize our body and hold it upright on the mat. And then we're getting that dumbbell focus, that resistance through the left shoulder. Can you check in with your pelvis, making sure that it's level? Once you've done that, make sure you're looking straight down at the mat. And see if you can send a little less weight into the left hip. Can you receive more weight into your core rather than leaning into the left hip? This is 3. Last 2. We've got that little reach across coming next. Last 1. And go ahead and bring the knee and the dumbbell down. All right, we're going to come onto our back again. This time we have the dumbbell in our left hand. And we're going to float the right leg up towards the sky. So the right leg floats up towards the sky. And then we're going to float the left arm up as well. All right, here we go, guys. Inhale, come up and across, picking up the left shoulder blade up and off the floor. And exhale as we return to start, head tops down. Inhale as we sweep up and across. Exhale as we tap down. Small range of movement. But really feeling that deep activation, that connection from the waistline across to the inner thigh. Inhale as we lengthen up. We're going to layer on after this next one. Let's hold in that rotation. Left leg glides up to meet the right. Left leg lowers back down, and then we unwind. Come up and across. Left leg floats up. Left leg lowers down, and we unwind. Last time, up and across. Left leg comes up. Left leg goes down, and we unwind. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and set the dumbbell down. We're going to go into that Wunda twist on the other side. So hands come onto the mat. There, like little starfish, shoulder width distance, step your feet back. You have your right foot crossed under your left. We're in a twisted plank position. And now like we have that fishing hook on our right hip, we're gonna come up and back just a tiny, and then unwind. Up and back, and then unwind. So it's a small range of movement, like I said before, really focusing through the low belly and the inner thighs, finding lots of effort through the shoulders and the arms. Last 4. This is 3, 2, and last one, bring both knees down. All right, we're gonna go into some scissor kicks with our inner thigh focus. So we're gonna lay down, elbows come onto the mat, and we're gonna hold this little hinge position here. Bring the legs into first position, heels touching, toes turned out. And with long legs, we are going to crisscross up and down. Think about not loading into the shoulders, working at your own pace. Focus less on the feet crossing and more on the upper inner thighs crossing. Lots of length, lots of breath, lots of activation. Think about lifting off of the elbows, head is in line with the spine. This is going to be our last set down. And bring your legs all the way down to the mat. All right, we're gonna grab that red band to assist us with our low abdominal curls. So we're gonna lay all the way down, grab that band, and it goes under the arches of your feet. Once you're there, lay your head all the way back down one more time, arms are nice and wide. And what we're gonna do is inhale, use that inhale breath to float the back side of the head up off the mat. Exhale, come into a shallow abdominal curl. And then we're gonna set it all the way back down. Inhale to pick up the head. Exhaling as we roll, bring it back down. So the idea is that inhale breath is really helping us to activate length. Reach the crown of the head through the wall behind you rather than through the sky above you. And back down, more about length, less about height. Arms are nice and wide, activating across the shoulders and the chest. Pelvis is neutral, keeping length through the low back. Inhale as we bring it up. Exhale as we lower it down. Let's go for 4 more here. Thinking about reaching through the wall rather than the sky. Last 2. This is our last one. Coming up for that front step press next. Bring your head all the way down. All right, guys, let's go ahead and rise onto our feet. And we're gonna use that red band just like we use that Wunda Chair pedal for our front step press. So we have our feet 4 inches apart, parallel. And we're gonna step the arch of the right foot into that band. Arms are gonna be in that bicep curl position, elbows close to the waist. Find that right knee approximately at the height of your right hip in a level belt line. And before we move, we're gonna find breath behind the left knee and the left inner thigh coming alongside the spine. So let's center out that balance. Here we go. On the inhale, we're gonna send that right leg towards the floor. Arms don't move. Exhale, receive that leg back into the hip. Inhale as we lengthen down and reach. Exhale as we absorb it back up and in. Collarbones are nice and wide. Try to keep equal weight across the sole of that left foot. Exhale as we bring it up. Inhale as we lower down, working at your own pace. On the next one, we're gonna hold the leg at that 90-ish degree bend. Bring it up, hold. Bend the standing leg just a little bit, keeping your torso upright. You might have felt your right thigh sinking in a little bit more deeply into the dome of the pelvis. And now we're gonna do a little tiny down and a little tiny up. Move from the top of that thigh bone. Collarbones stay nice and wide. Last 3, we're there already. This is 2. We're gonna step into that lunge sequence in 1. All right, go ahead and swap out that band for your dumbbells one more time. Set the band to the side, grab your dumbbells. This time we're gonna have the right leg forward. We're starting 4 inches apart parallel. And then we're gonna take a nice step back with the left foot. The left leg is gonna stay long, hands come on your hips, and we're gonna bend the right knee a lot. You might need to adjust your left foot, that's okay, do that as needed. And then we're gonna hinge forward on an exhale. And then we're gonna keep the legs quiet as we inhale and return to upright. Exhale, tipping over the top of that thigh bone. Inhale as you lengthen, back to upright. Smallish range of movement, focusing on mobility, flexibility, and functionality through that right hip. Inhale as we rise up. Keeping equal weight across the sole of that right foot. Let's go for one more like this. Hold the next one forward, hold and breathe. Arms come long to your sides, and we're gonna take the left arm up alongside the ear. Now we're gonna go into that little foot roll. So we're gonna have the right arm coming up as the right heel raises, and then switch, right heel goes down, left arm comes up. Thinking about that thigh bone sinking more deeply into the hip socket as the heel raises, using that inner thigh to pick up your heel. See if you can find that connection rather than just popping up via the ankle joint. Shoulder blade melts down, and that's what floats the arm up. Hold this next one with your heel down. Both arms come behind you, nice and long for a little tricep focus. And then we're gonna go into that fascial flossing. So we're gonna do a tiny bend and tiny extend. Try not to move your left heel or your left hip. Keeping everything organized, keeping the arms reaching long, not high, reach them long, long, long. Little bend, little extend. Height shouldn't be changing at all. You're gonna feel a lot of shaking if you've got that fascial flossing connection happening. Last 4, 3, 2, last 1. Right heel goes down and come on and rise up. We're gonna finish with a washerwoman and then we stretch, gang. We're almost there. Feet are gonna be about 4 inches apart parallel. Hands come up and overhead. And then we're gonna exhale as we round and curve like a candy cane, curling down towards the floor. Towards the bottom, we're gonna bend our knees just a little bit so we get real close to the floor, and then we're gonna exhale, rolling outbound with those dumbbells. And then we're gonna inhale as we decelerate, bringing them down. You're looking back through your legs. Exhale and inhale. Thinking about those elbows reaching far and wide. And then we have our shoulders and our collarbones chasing the elbows, trying to go for even more length. Last 2. Bringing the elbows wide. Dumbbells come back down, nod the chin, round the upper back as we slowly rise up. All the way back up to standing. All right, guys, let's go ahead and stretch. Set those dumbbells down. And we're gonna go into a weight shift stretch today. So we're gonna step into a nice wide second position, wider than our shoulders. And we're gonna shift our weight. So we're just gonna bend the right leg only, keeping the pelvis low. And we're gonna lower into that stretch through that inner thigh. Do you feel that? Isn't that so good? All right, and we're gonna take that left arm up and over. My right arm is gonna come onto the thigh. We can open our chest towards the sky a little bit, opening the upper back. Bring it back to start. And then we're gonna walk the hands through the center. Both legs are long now. Now the left leg bends. We weight shift into the left side. Left elbow comes down and we arc. And we can gaze up towards the sky, opening the shoulder a bit. Bring it back to center. And we're gonna bring our hands down to the middle of the mat and slowly rise up through the middle. Slowly rolling up, stacking one vertebra up on top of the next. Come all the way up and you've made it through another fantastic workout. Thanks for being here with me.